Hello and welcome to all of viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Circle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ubong Osoro. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTime channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his directive for the withdrawal of police officers attached to VIPs nationwide, saying the measure is critical to strengthening Nigeria's fight against kidnapping, banditry.
At the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, says the order to withdraw police personnel from VIP and VVIP escorts must be fully implemented as part of the ongoing efforts to reposition national security. He directed the Minister of Interior to work with the Inspector General of Police to replace officers currently on special security assignments, ensuring that no Chief of Defense Staff will provide further guidance as the review of the security deployment continues nationwide.
I honestly believe in what I said, and I called on the IG, and I hope the Minister for Police Affairs is said. So if you have any problem of security because of the nature of your assignment, please contact the IGP.
The president stressed that with the rising case of kidnapping and terrorism, Nigeria needs all available officers deployed to frontline policing to protect citizens.
NSA and DSS to provide further information and form themselves into a committee and review the structure. It should be effective.
President Tinubu added that anyone needing police security must first obtain direct clearance from him through the Office of the National Security Advisor. Ubong Osoro for Global Television.
In the meantime, the Senate has launched an investigation into what is described as the uneven enforcement of President Bola Tinubu's directive ordering the withdrawal of police personnel from VIPs. Raising the matters under Order 9, Senator Abdul Ningi of Bauchi Central raised a concern on the Senate floor over the withdrawal of its only police orderly. Topsy Gimba has more.
Senator Ningi questioned why many political office holders still have police protection while his security was removed, calling for fairness and uniform application of the directive from the president and vice president to ministers and others. Senator Ningi also noted that some ministers, business persons, and entertainers continue to receive police protection despite the security withdrawal order. He urged the leadership of the Senate to direct the Police Affairs Committee to investigate this selective enforcement, warning that the National Assembly should not be singled out.
I cannot ever imagine that a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has been here for a very long time, only one orderly, and he is withdrawn, and nothing will happen. Like I said earlier, Mr. President, I have no problem, but let it be done across the board.
Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barau, acknowledged the concerns, confirming that the Police Affairs Committee will look into the reports. Senator Barau explained the withdrawal aims to boost police efforts against Nigeria's security challenges and assured that the Senate remains committed to protecting its members.
The police orderlies that were withdrawn from the senators is of concern to us, and I will raise the issue, and we're dealing with that, in the formal line. The chairman of the Police Affairs Committee should take up this matter, conduct a proper investigation, and let us know why is the directive of Mr. President being flouted. Mr. President gave that order in order to strengthen our police force to deal with our internal security problems, and it was done in good faith.
He expressed hope President Tinubu will consider and restore Senate Ningi's police orderly and praised the president's efforts to improve national security with the Senate's full support. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The House of Representatives is raising the alarm over the soaring domestic airfares, warning that millions of Nigerians may struggle to travel home this Christmas. Lawmakers say the sudden spike is exploitative and threatens the nation's long-standing culture of festive reunion. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
Thursday's plenary session in the House of Representatives turned emotional as lawmakers condemned what they describe as an outrageous surge in domestic airfares. They say traveling by air has become prohibitively expensive, shutting out families hoping to reunite for Christmas. Obinna Agocha, who moved the motion of urgent national importance, urged the federal government to work with airlines operators to temporarily reduce fares during the festive season.
To establish a transparent assessment mechanism to create a system to determine the true minimum necessary operational cost for airlines throughout the Christmas season.
Members blamed the rising demand for flights on the poor state of highways and worsening insecurity, which makes road travel unsafe for many Nigerians.
Talking about palliative will be pampering the problem rather than solving the problem. We need to provide more means for air transport for Nigerians.
While some lawmakers accuse airlines of exploiting travelers, others highlighted deeper industry issues from heavy government levies to the high cost of aircraft parts and the impacts of Harmattan weather on operations.
This has been an issue even at the level of Nigerians, but there is a particular issue the operators are talking about that I want to include in the prayers. They talk about various levies. They even said about 70% of all constitutes airfare is as a result of levies by the aviation or in the aviation.
Assessing airline operational costs during the Christmas period, they also called for a 50% reduction in aviation taxes and for the central bank to prioritize foreign exchange for airline operators at reasonable rates. The House Committee on Aviation has been directed to interface with the industry and report back within 7 days. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
The leadership crisis within the People's Democratic Party is taking a new turn as factional national chairman Tanimu Turaki insists that the party remains united. This follows a meeting in Abuja where 29 state chairmen reaffirmed their authority of the National Working Committee. Our correspondent brings details.
At the meeting, the 29 state chairmen of the PDP reaffirmed their support for the National Working Committee led by Tanimu Turaki. Turaki, who emerged from the party's Ibadan convention on November 16, said the turnout demonstrates that the PDP remains united, contrary to claims by the Wike allied faction.
If all the state chairmen are here with us, then who is it that is not with us? If all the state chairmen are supporting us, then who, sincerely speaking, can be fighting us?
Speaking to the state chairman, Turaki dismissed reports of a parallel leadership structure, insisting that the overwhelming attendance shows where the party's true authority lies. He also maintained that the PDP is on course to reclaim power in 2027.
As far as PDP is concerned, I think it speaks for itself. People now know where the leadership of PDP is, and people know who the true leaders of the party are. And of course, we are the leaders, genuine, bona fide leaders of the people.
Turaki further accused the ruling APC of dragging the country backward, stressing that the PDP remains committed to rescuing Nigeria and returning to power in 2027. Analysts say how the PDP resolved their leadership dispute will play a major role in shaping the party's strength ahead of the 2027 general elections. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
In a move aimed at strengthening the backbone of national security, a renewed drive to overhaul and modernize its medical services, ensuring that personnel across the country receive the healthcare support needed to perform optimally. The initiative marks 1 year of the most ambitious welfare-focused reforms in the force's recent history. Defense correspondent Kike Lomo-Okere brings details.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, announced the new direction in Abuja during the inaugural national meeting and conference of heads of police medical facilities nationwide. Egbetokun stressed that the health and well-being of police personnel remains central to operational readiness and effective national security. He maintained that strengthening medical capacity is at the heart of his vision for a modern, well-equipped, and professionally driven police force.
Commitment to building a system where those who protect others are themselves protected, supported, medically empowered to serve at their highest capacity.
The Force Medical Director, AIG Nkechi Eze, outlined the Directorate's expanded responsibilities area, ranging from preventive medicine and trauma care to medical training and national health response capabilities.
This upgrade, graciously approved under your visionary leadership, sir, stands as a profound testament to your unwavering commitment to the welfare of police personnel. It marks the beginning of a new era of modernization, professionalizing, and enhanced coordination in preventive healthcare for officers, their families, and the communities we serve.
A major highlight of the conference was the official launch of the nationwide Know Your Numbers campaign, an initiative championed by the IGP to encourage officers to regularly monitor key health indicators such as blood pressure, blood sugar, pulse rate, and hepatitis, as well as HIV status. The campaign is designed to curb avoidable illness and promote longer, healthier service here within the force. With these reforms, the Nigerian Police Force signals a decisive shift towards a more responsive, health-conscious, and professionally grounded institution. Kike Lomo-Okere, Global Television News.
We're watching the live broadcast of News Circle. When News Circle returns, President Tinubu submits 2026 to 2028 fiscal framework to the House of Representatives. House adopts key national motions. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. In business, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally presented the federal government's 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to the House of Representatives, stating the stage for work to begin on the 2026 national budget. The document, already approved by the Federal Executive Council, now awaits swift legislative action as requested by the President. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick brings us details.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has transmitted the federal government's 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, MTEF-FSP, to the House of Representatives for consideration and approval. In the letter read by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, the President informed the House that the document was approved at the Federal Executive Council meeting of December 3, 2025, and will guide the preparation of the 2026 national budget. He sought the cooperation of the National Assembly for swift legislative action.
The 2026 to 2028 MTEF and FSP was approved during the Federal Executive Council meeting of December 3, 2025.
A motion seeking the review and reform of the contributory pension scheme to improve retirees' welfare moved by Afupe Afolabi was likewise adopted.
The stop that the contribute.
In addition, the House approved a motion by Sesi Wingan urging the federal government to declare January 15th as a national public holiday in honor of the Nigerian Armed Forces to strengthen national remembrance and appreciation of the military's sacrifices.
With designated national holiday, limit citizens' participation in wreath-laying ceremonies, remembrance parades, military honor events, school-based civic lessons, and community-led tributes thereby weakens national consciousness of military history.
Also, a motion on the need to reject the proposed ceding of parts of Edo State for the creation of Torobe State, moved by Omosede Igbenedion, was adopted.
Acknowledges the importance of inclusive development and state creation and national growth, but insists that no such initiative must come at the expense of a people's identity, history, or sovereignty.
Meanwhile, two Bayelsa lawmakers, Rodney Amabuwe and Ogbofo Ofoji, announced their defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Tajuddin Abbas read their letters in which the lawmakers cited divisions within the PDP's national leadership that have affected state chapters, creating uncertainty over who leads the party's affairs. From the National Assembly, Anieti Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has directed the immediate payment of 1.5 trillion naira owed to local contractors during the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. This was made known in a statement by presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga, who said Tinubu was visibly upset after the Bureau of Public Procurement Director General Dr. Adebowale Adedoku briefed the council on the scale of unpaid obligations. Tinubu has also set up a multi-ministerial committee led by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagodu, and the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, to design a permanent funding plan that may include borrowing. On the foreign scene, United Nations Rights Chief Volker Turk has responded to harsh criticism of Europe from U.S. President Donald Trump's administration, insisting the continent has greatly benefited from promoting and protecting human rights. Trump had criticized Europe as being weak on immigration after his administration's national security strategy warned of so-called civilizational erasure, saying that the continent's migration policies are creating stiff censorship of free speech and suppression of political opposition. Global Television Zahra Nazi reports.
Turk insisted that Europe had achieved huge successes in the rights field, noting that regarding the European component of the US strategy, Europe has benefited precisely from the promotion and protection of human rights.
Our resources have been slashed, along with funding for human rights organizations, including at the grassroots level around the world. We are in survival mode, and I was in Brussels yesterday during a meeting with human rights defenders, and all of them, all the human rights defenders from around the world, told me how dire their situation is.
Turk told a press conference in Geneva that through its courts and convention, Europe established a human rights system that is one of the strongest in the world, calling it an incredible achievement for humanity. Relations between Europe and the United States have become strained on several issues since Trump's return to power in January from the U.S. rapprochement with Russia. Zahra Nasr reporting for Global TV News.
In sports, the National Sports Commission has launched a new integrity unit to intensify Nigeria's crackdown on age cheating and other unethical practices. The Commission's Director General Bukola Olakbade said the unit was created after the National Council of Sports approved the criminalization of age falsification at its November meeting in Calabar. Olakbade said the unit will work closely with the sports federations and the Anti-Doping Office and the Elite and Podium Board to ensure compliance with global standards. And that's it on News Circle. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365-76. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now, showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ubong Usoro. Bye for now.